Other interesting business news, you have Brembo now to make bicycle brakes after decades of iconic car brakes. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Anthony Collins over at thedrive.com, which he says, quote, Brembo brakes are going on mountain bikes now. They've got even very cute little red calipers too, which that is, I do have to say, that is adorable. It literally just looks like they shrunk down an actual car Brembo brake, which again, there's a lot of parallels, obviously. It's, a little bit smaller, but it's a disc brake. Now, they say that, quote, Brembo, the popular purveyor of the high-performance brakes for cars and motorcycles, is jumping into a new market in the arena of sport, downhill mountain biking. The Formula One and MotoGP brake supplier will now be making cute little bike brake calipers for specialized 2025 UCI MTB World Series bike. And yes, they are red, of course. I was going to say, let's get some more of those red calipers on screen. They say, there have been some one-off bicycles with Brembo brakes in the past, but this is the first proper OE application of something with pedal power. The specialized gravity team will be running Brembo's new brake system, not just the calipers, on its racing bike starting with the Val de Toll Sol coming up in June 2022. It makes sense, downhill bikes don't hit MotoGP speeds, but absolutely go fast enough to justify extreme braking performance, especially at the high-level competition. I did a couple downhill mountain bike races in my youth as an amateur, never did a full day of downhill riding without damaging a significant component, usually bent wheels. Yeah, they look pretty, dude. They look pretty heavy duty right there. That's a great contrast with the red calipers, really. The whole bike, if you're not watching on Rumble or YouTube, the whole bike, most of the paint job is black. You have a little yellow spring, and then, yeah, those red calipers pop. Please note that, quote, new business relationships also surely have a hand in making this happen. Specialized has run All-in Suspension, which another brand that also does elite equipment for motorsports and rotor bikes and race bikes past couple years. And recently, Brembo acquired All-in just a few months ago. The Swedish company is still providing suspension for a specialized racing program and some other consumer bikes as well. As for the mechanical details on Brembo's new bike brakes, here's what's the brand share. Quote, the braking system, both front and rear, include an axial brake master cylinder with a floating diameter of 9mm and a triple lever adjustment, lever ratio, lever reach, and free stroke, allowing riders to customize the braking feel according to their preferences. The brake master cylinder is paired with a post-mount caliper featuring 4 isolated aluminum pistons with 8mm diameter to provide high braking power. The master cylinder and the caliper are connected via a braided steel hose to ensure consistent and precise lever travel. The system is completed by a fixed brake rotor specifically designed to match the caliper, with a large braking surface to optimize the heat dissipation during extreme use. Which I'm sure, including myself, a lot of that sounded like French. Well, more appropriately, perhaps Italian, because, where the company's headquartered. But yeah, precision, high quality, fancy to say the least. It's really cool to see the breakdown of all the components on the operating table right there. Well, when I say operating table like it's a doctor, obviously it's a performance bike shop. Now they say that continues saying, quote, asked my Brembo contact if the brake kit would be available as a standalone consumer option at some point. The answer wasn't a yes or no, as they shared via an email, quote, Brembo has decided to enter cycling sector with an initial supply in the racing applications world. This is a first setup into a realm of competitive bike racing with a new sector for Brembo and our racing business unit. We cannot speak to the future of potential in the bicycle industry as of now, but this is not an opportunistic partnership. It is strategic. Brembo and Specialized have just embarked on a journey that we hope will lead to future innovations in the near future, unquote. Which, yeah, of course, it's going to be a long-term partnership. It's, obviously going to be profitable because I'm sure consumers, like every hobby, which is also a good and bad thing about hobbies, is awesome, I think. You can spend as little as you want on a hobby, and pretty much there's unlimited if you want to get custom and, pay for the best. And with bicycles, geez Louise, you can get a $100 mountain bike from Walmart, or you can spend, 20, 30, 50, more than you spend on a car if you want a competitive, professional bicycle. And again, aesthetically speaking, these look really cool too. And they're smart. Obviously, they have their good old Brembo logo perfectly painted onto that. All the equipment, not just the caliper, but also the handbrake itself. It looks really cool. And again, cyclists will pay for a premium product. It will be interesting to see what the actual price point of this is. Lord only knows, it's not going to be cheap. But yeah, in terms of expanding, Brembo is probably one of the best companies past couple of years where we're seeing a lot of acquisitions, but acquisitions that are strategic and make sense. I'm actually almost finishing reading America's Cornerstone, which is a book about the foundation and growing of Walgreens, and a lot of similar businesses, in that area, and even up to, I would argue, the maybe 90s, mid 2000s, they would, diversify the company by buying businesses that are in no way related to the head company or the head vision. And it seems like inevitably they always divest those companies decades later, sometimes at a loss. Brembo seems to be making a lot of strategic acquisitions into everything that's still related to the main category of usually increasing the ride quality of a vehicle. Because, again, almost a couple months ago, that's a suspension company for high-end motorcycles. This is braking, which, again, is the majority of what Brembo does, what they're known for. And it's going to be braking high-performance, cycles as well. Oh, only this time, cycles without engines. So not motorcycles, but actual street bikes or, racing cycles. In this case, mountain bikes. I think all these acquisitions and all these expansions are very strategic. And granted, not financial advice. I don't even think they're publicly traded. I know they're headquartered over in Italia, so they're fancy. But yeah, talk about a business that's making the right moves and really expanding upon what their vision is. And it's going to be really cool to see them watch them grow in the future. And then let me know, once this comes out, would you be willing to pay for a Brembo brake system for your mountain bike? I do suspect they'll get into the actual, like the Lance Armstrong bikes with the actual cycles, which because those already have, they already have these disc brakes on them, but they're not to that level. So I suspect that will probably be the next iteration. But because this article is about mountain biking. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think they'll expand to that? And then how much would you be willing to pay for one of these, or how much do you think they'll cost in general? Let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.